What's going on, you guys? If you haven't seen it already, check out my prediction video for Vanes Martirosyan, Arislandi Lara 2. This is going to be on the same card as Trout and Jermall Charlo, okay, and also Jermall Charlo against John Jackson. All three fights are going to be on the same card, and all three fights are going to be title fights. Martirosyan against Lara is going to be for the WBA at 154. You have John Jackson against Jermall Charlo for the vacant WBC title, and the IBF will be defended by Jermall Charlo, the power puncher of the two twins, against Austin Trout, which I'm going to speak on now. All right, try to make this quick because I got to do the other two fights as well. Good fight, very, very good fight. All these are good fights. All of them are good fights at 154, including Andrade against Willie Nelson. Great, great fights. All of these, out of the four fights, I think the majority of these guys are all top 10 guys, all right? The majority of them. So anyway, let's get right into it. Jermall Charlo, the killer between the two twins, okay? He punches, he throws everything he throws. He has bad intentions behind it, okay? Excellent, excellent jab, excellent balance, all right? Solid speed, power. He's tall. He's a bigger fighter at 154, okay? One of the biggest out of all of the top fighters at 154. He's probably the biggest out of them all, okay? Just about. Now, Austin Trout, very experienced, been in there with Canelo, beat Miguel Cotto, okay? Been in there with Arislandi Lara. The guy is well-seasoned, southpaw, okay? Not the biggest puncher, great worker, you know, pretty sharp, all right? Doesn't have, I think, me personally, is kind of chinny, all right? He's been knocked down by Canelo. He was knocked down by Arislandi Lara, and he was also knocked down in that following fight, his comeback fight since losing to Lara. I forgot the guy's name. He fought him on ESPN. I remember watching the fight. He won the fight, and I believe he got a stoppage in that fight. I'm not really sure, right? He's had a stoppage on the PBC fight he had too, okay? But top five, arguably top 5 guy at 154. Definitely a top 10 fighter at 154, okay? And still young and still fresh, all right? He's seasoned, but he's still, you know, young and fresh. Got a lot of years to go, in my opinion. Very tough fight, all right? Jermall Charlo, not as experienced, not even as experienced as his brother. Many people believe that he's the better between the two brothers, the two twins, all right? I believe that Jermall is the stronger puncher between the two, all right? But I do think Jermall fought the better fighters. Jermall fought, you know, Charlie Ota. He fought Gabe Rosado. He fought Vanes Martirosyan, you know, and he, you know, pulled off the win in that fight. All of those are tough fights. So I believe, me personally, I never thought Cornelius Bundrage was that good. I know he was a champion. I know he beat the living hell out of Carlos Molina. Carlos Molina was on a long layoff in that fight, okay, a very long layoff. And I really never thought much of Cornelius Bundrage. I knew it was going to be an easy fight for Jermall Charlo. I knew he was going to stop him. I know that was a championship fight, and I know that was his first test, but I don't really consider it a test. I think Austin Trout is a much, much, much better fighter than Cornelius Bundrage, and Austin Trout would probably shut him out if they were to ever fight, okay? You know, and I think this is the best test for Jermall Charlo. The way I see the fight going is going to be a jab and war. You know, both of these guys have good jabs. Austin Trout is a southpaw, you know, but Jermall, training with Arislandi Lara for all of those years, you know, he has a lot of experience in fighting southpaws, okay? And we all know what happened when Lara fought Austin Trout. Lara almost shut him out, okay? And he also knocked him down. So I don't think whatever Trout does, I don't think he's going to show anything new to Jermall, okay? But he could give him some good looks, good, you know, shots to the body. He has the volume, you know, and he's pretty sharp. he can definitely win rounds against Charlo, okay, based off activity. But like I said, Trout is a little bit chinny, and he's going to be fighting a big time puncher who is very precise, all right, pretty quick, has a lot of power. You know, he's extremely sharp in Jermall Charlo. I just don't see Trout winning this fight, in my opinion. You know, I just think Jermall is just too good. At 154, it would take a really good fighter to beat him. You know, I doubt he ever fights Lara, so I don't want to get into that. But you know, I can't see Jermall really losing a fight unless maybe it's Demetrius Andrade. You know, maybe Andrade can beat him. You know, maybe Julian J. Rock can beat him. And maybe Austin Trout can beat him. I think he has a shot. But out of all of the guys up there, I don't see Austin Trout having the best shot. I think the power difference and, you know, the power difference is really there. You know, as far as boxing skills, they're almost pretty much even, okay? I still would give Jermall the better chance because both of these guys are very similar outside of Trout being a southpaw, okay? Both of these guys like to fight rangy, you know, they like to work behind their jab, you know, and Jermall Charlo just wants to land a big right hand. His jab is so stiff that he even dropped guys. He dropped Bundridge with a jab, all right? The guy is very powerful, and he has a very stiff, solid jab. He does everything as far as boxing technique. He does everything well, not too flashy. He just works behind the jab. Trout, a little bit of the same thing, but he doesn't have the power behind his jab like the way Charlo does, all right? His left hand is not as stiff and strong like an Erislandy Lara. You know, I just think Jermall just have better weapons in my opinion. And I think he's going to win, possibly by knockout. You know, he does have the power to knock Trout out. I think he's definitely going to land a shot at some point and at least drop Trout, you know. Trout has never been stopped. He was down a few times. He's gotten back up every single time. So I don't know if Jermall is going to do enough to actually stop him. It would be very impressive if he's able to stop Austin Trout. You know, a guy that looked good against Canelo. You know, even though he lost, he looked good against Canelo. He won a lot of rounds in that fight. And, you know, he beat Miguel Cotto. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage, but it could happen. You know, I have Jermall Charlo winning this by decision, unanimous decision. I think the young kid is just too much. He's too strong. He's too big, and he's too sharp. He's good all the way around, and he moves extremely well too. You know, I don't think there's going to be too much movement. I think for the most part, these guys are going to be standing in front of each other in the single center of the ring, not too much circling around, not. You know, nobody's going to really be on the ropes unless someone's going to be in trouble, you know, or hurt. I just see Jermall outpointing him. Plus, he has the power advantage. You know, I just think Jermall is the better fighter between the two. I have Jermall winning this one by unanimous decision, possibly by knockout, okay? But Trout is his best test by far. And Trout, he has a chance to win. I just don't think he's going to do enough to win, not against this kid. This kid is a straight killer. And that's my thoughts, all right? So, anyway, be on the lookout for the next two. I'm going to do 2 more videos at 154, like I told you. Check out Jermall against John Jackson. And also check out Demetrius Andrade against Willie Nelson. Another good fight, all right? And make sure you guys hit subscribe. Peace.